Okay, how about another example? 8x squared minus 2x minus 3. So we're looking at three terms. Our leading coefficient is 8, so this is going to require those 4 steps. We're multiplying first and third. 8 times negative 3 will give us this negative 24. Next step is, what's the pair of numbers that multiply will equal negative 24, but added together will equal negative 2? Maybe the numbers will come to you quickly if you just think about it, but if not, we are going to use that same approach. The approach where we just focus on finding pairs of numbers that multiply together will equal this number, and once we have a good list, then we'll look at which pair is it that also works for the addition. Okay, so 1 and negative 24, 2 and negative 12, 3 and negative 8, 4 and negative 6 are the pairs of factors that I found. I know that the larger number is going to be negative in these pairs because added together it's going to give us a negative sum. So which of the pairs is it that added together equals negative 2? The last. That pair of numbers we use to place in the middle, we're splitting this middle term up. It's basically out. The negative 2x is out. In its place, we have two new terms using these numbers, positive 4x and negative 6x. And again, it's going to be just fine if you have a negative 6x and then positive 4x. Our factor by grouping the steps in the middle might be a little bit different, or they will be a little bit different if you have these terms reversed, but our final answer will be the same. So we're factoring by grouping. The first two terms paired up have a GCF of 4x, and in parentheses we need 2x plus 1. Okay, with the last pair we have two negative terms. In parentheses from the first pair we have a positive 2x plus 1. So we're going to need to factor out a negative GCF, and the GCF between 6 and 3 is a 3. So we're factoring out negative 3. And seeing inside parentheses, we'll need a positive 2x and a positive 1. So the quantities do match. 2x plus 1 will be one factor, and 4x minus 3 the other factor. Here's another problem for you to try. This is a challenging one. When we do that first step, multiply the first and third coefficients, going to be dealing with a very large number. So just stay organized when you find your pairs of factors. The pair is out there. It's out there. You can find that pair, so just take your time and be organized. So pause the video, take several minutes, and work through this problem, then come back and we'll check out the answer. Okay, let's look through the steps. First and third, the product is a negative 168. These are all the pairs of factors. I chose for each of my pairs to make the smaller number negative because our sum is positive, so the larger number would have to be positive. To come up with this list, I used a calculator and I tried division repeatedly. I know that first of all, 1 and 168 are going to be factors, and then I tried 168 divided by 2. And I got 84. 168 divided by 3 equals 56, and so on until I had the numbers very close to one another and started finding repeats. So these are all the pairs. I went from a very large number to just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pairs. A much shorter list to have to think about now. What's adding up to equal positive 13? And there it is, negative 8 and positive 21. Okay, those numbers are used as two new terms in the middle. Negative 8x plus 21x is the order I chose. We'll factor by grouping. From the first pair, a GCF of 2x, and in parentheses, 3x minus 4. From the second set of parentheses, GCF of a positive 7, with in parentheses 3x minus 4. Now remember, if you chose to put your positive 28 first and negative 8x second, then you're going to have something different in this line right here. But we're going to finish up the same way. You should end up with 3x minus 4 as one factor and 2x plus 7 as the other factor. And these factors, these two quantities in parentheses, they can be in either order also. Remember, this is a multiply, and multiply we can do it in any order. So a 2x plus 7 first and 3x minus 4 second is perfectly fine, just as long as what you actually have in your parentheses are 3x minus 4 and 2x plus 7. If you have a plus over here and a minus with the 2x minus 7, that's going to be a problem. So that would be incorrect. This is going to be correct as long as your quantities match up with these two quantities in parentheses.